Another Xvive product. This is the U4 system, so it's an in-ear monitoring system which comes with the receiver and the transmitter without the actual in-ears, which I've already got, and I'll show you all those in a second. But this is something which I'd previously done or worked with Xvive using the A58 wireless guitar receiver and transmitter, which is amazing. Still using that now. And I asked if I could have one of these as well, and they've very kindly said yes. So here is the little demo of how it all works and what it's all about, to be honest, and ways in which I've been using it over the past couple of months. So it is pretty damn good, just to start off with. So let's jump into it. With the Xvive U4, you receive a receiver, that makes sense, and a transmitter, that also makes sense, with 6 channels, 2.5 hour charge time to give you 5 hours of battery life with a 90-foot range, and that would be uninterrupted, so no walls in the way or anything like that, so line of sight between these two. Mixer, back of your trousers, jeans, belt, whatever, and you've got your in-ears from the headphone jack on this receiver. So with this you have a volume control and 6 channels to select at the touch of a button just there. So the volume has actually got a huge range on it, and it sounds really good. So if you put some in-ear monitors, I'm using, or when I use these molded things which have just got the standard kind of, I can't know what you call that, is that an 1/8 of an inch jack? The small jack anyway, which is a stereo jack in here, but you hear it in mono because that's what it basically is, the capabilities of it. So with sort of like the prospects of this, now I've been using it in a rehearsal, so normally with rehearsals, as soon as a drummer and a bass player and a singer pipe up, then you can't hear a damn thing, so your guitar kind of blends into the background. I'm not the sort of guitarist which totally overpowers everything, alright? So with this, it means that I can put this into the mixing desk, this part, the transmitter, from the auxiliary out, or as I did in the last rehearsal, I used the included adapter on the end and went from the headphone out, so I just got a good overall mix of the vocals and guitars, leaving the bass and the drums just as the in-room environment basically. And that worked a treat. That was so good. So I was really pleased with the way in which this kind of helped out just in that situation. Now I've done a few rehearsals with it. There's been no issues at all. Obviously you're in a close kind of range within a room, as it were. But I do know people which have been using these on a big gig, on big gigs, and they work really well, and that's the guitar ones as well. So that's the A85s. A58s even, not 85s, got it the wrong way around, and they work absolutely wonderfully. So my plan is, when I get the gigs coming in later on this year, is to use this and the guitar wireless system, so I'm completely cable free, because I absolutely hate cables. They annoy me so much, really frustrates me, and I'm sure there's a lot of you out there which think the same way. So just a little bit on the tech specs if you're interested on this. It comes with obviously the box. I'm not going to do an unboxing. The transmitter, the receiver, and the adapter, and also a little carry pouch. That makes sense, doesn't it? Which is very handy because it keeps it all in one place, and this splitter cable to charge it, so you don't have 2 USB blocks to charge both devices. You just have one block coming off, splitting out into 2, which is basically both devices. And as I said, it charges in about 2.5 hours. So the in-ear specs, you've got 2.4 gigahertz wireless in-ear monitoring system. You do have to buy your own in-ears, which you could use standard headphones, but if they're noise cancelling, then that will work really well for the sort of rehearsal situation. I think noise cancelling is definitely the way to go. Dynamic range is 107 decibels, and it's up to 107 decibels signal to noise ratio, which provides clear, detailed audio at any volume. And to be fair, cranking the volume on it, it's brilliant. Lower volumes, you still hear that dynamic range, so you can still hear the bassiness, the trebliness, and the midness of everything which is there. So that is actually true. 5 hours of battery life, already said that, so it will clearly easily do a gig for you. and possibly more if your gigs are less than 5 hours. So I probably wouldn't risk a whole 5-hour gig on one charge, but really, who does 5-hour gigs anyway? So that's basically what I would sort of look at doing, is charge it before every gig, and that you are going to be safe for the entire gig, even if it's 2-3 hours long, which again is pretty much unheard of. So solid RF connection over a 90-foot range, already said about that, but you do need to make sure it's line of sight. So between both of these devices, if there is something in the way of these, that will more than likely cause some kind of interference. Now, I'm not on about a body, but like a brick wall or something like that. So ideally you need to keep everything everything between the two devices as clear as possible. The high resolution 24-bit 48 kilohertz audio, so that's, again, that helps with the quality of it. And the frequency response is 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. So obviously your lows to your mids, and it sounds lows to your highs and everything in between. So mono, no stereo. That is one downside from these, and something which most of us, 99% of us, won't even need to worry about. But you can't get stereo signal into this from the transmitter. I suppose you could if you used 2 transmitters and 2 receivers, but then that's a lot of faffing about, so ignore that. Less than 5 milliseconds latency. I haven't noticed any latency, to be honest with you, and you'll hear that on the recording in a second. So it provides smooth frequency response with any headphones. Kaboom! So that is the Xvive U4. They come in many different forms, so I think you can buy just that part, which is the transmitter receiver, and you could have just one of these and have a whole band on obviously with the same mix, because you need different separate ones of the transmitters to get separate monitor mixes for everybody who's got one of these. But even if you have this set to channel 1, if you've got 4 of these going, 5 of these going, you could have 4 or 5 on channel 1, all with the same monitor mix. So from a band perspective and getting that clarity instead of having monitors, it's actually pretty damn good. So the possibilities are very, 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 very good. So you're going to end up with something which is extremely usable at a cheap price, which comes to, how much is it? Well, it's around about £180 for that and that. If you want monitors on top, you're probably looking at around about £300. I'm not entirely sure, so don't quote me on that. But you can get isolating headphones to use at a relatively cheap price. So my in-ear monitors were not cheap, but they are specially molded for my ears, so that helps cut any background noise out, so I get just the monitor mix. What else do we say about it? I'm not sure. Well, maybe say that it's all metal casing, so it feels very solid, which is very nice. You have volume control and channel select. I think I've said that already. All the indicators, can we see that on there? No. There you go. So all the indicators are on there, which you should be able to see clearly lit up. It's very straightforward to use. On off on the top of the receiver, and power and mute on the transmitter. So, and you've got a line level and an auxiliary level. Actually, that's another good point. And so if you're using this from a mixing desk, then you'd probably use the line level, so you're getting a good clear monitor mix. But you could also use it to listen to music wirelessly from somewhere else, or play a music player into a mixing desk wirelessly. So, you know, there's kind of some real benefits to this. Even if you're not a musician, you could have it as like a DJ perspective as well. But, you know, it's one of those things. So another way to use these, that is silent practice in the house, as much as you can with a guitar. But so if you've got a young family which go to bed fairly early, then you don't want to disturb people, or in flat or whatever, then you can use it for silent practice. So with the provided adapters, you can put that into your headphone socket of your amplifier, or computer, or whatever modelling system you're using, even a pedal board, and have this go into your in-ears, which are your receiver, and then you're going to have silent practice. So actually that is an exceptionally good way to use it, and one which I've been doing in the house as well, plugging it straight into my Tonex, and then having the Tonex go straight to my ears, no wires, and that's using the A58 wireless guitar system as well, with no interference. Amazing. There you go. So that is it. That is the it's the U4 by Xvive, an exceptionally wonderful bit of in-ear monitoring. Now, you can buy them cheaper. Somebody can buy cheap in-ear monitors, but I would imagine build quality would be shocking, and the actual quality would be shocking. These are really good. So I will leave you with that thought, and yes, have a very good time with whatever you're doing. See you later, everyone. Bye.